Good morning and welcome to the new edition of Frontiers of Knowledge. One of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, is zero hunger. Zero hunger means not a single individual, not a single man or a woman, not a single child should go hungry. But it also means that apart from satisfying the hunger, the hidden hunger should also be satisfied. And that hidden hunger has especially resulted in malnutrition. 155 million children around the world are chronically undernourished despite all the developments that have taken place in recent decades. And the feeling of being malnourished, undernourished, is transformed into reality with the rising medical bills, lack of immunity, and spread of diseases. As a matter of fact, what is hunger? It can refer to lack of food, a widespread food shortage caused by war, drought, crop failure, or government policies. So what to do? Apart from the hunger, as we know, the micronutrient deficiency occurs when there is a lack of essential vitamins and micronutrients and minerals in a man's diet. This condition, malnutrition, apart from 155 million children, affects more than 2 billion people around the world. And the result is stunted growth, poor cognitive mental skills, increased risk of infection, complications during pregnancy and childbirth, and the results socially, medically, and economically are so well known that one doesn't need to talk about that. So what's to be done? Around the world for the long time we have been saying there's a supplementation and food fortification has been done to address micronutrient deficiency. But it's a high cost-benefit ratio. Food fortification basically means improving the nutritional quality of food itself. And while processing food, you add micronutrients. But this can be harmful as well because many individuals using the same product may not be needing the same micronutrients. It's only when a widespread range of people are deficient in that micronutrient, then at that time fortification is useful. For example, in the times of war, in England, there was a shortage of dairy products. So they started adding calcium to all the food. But today, too, you go to the market and you will find that most of your foods, including your bread, cereal, fat spreads, everything seems to be fortified. In developing countries, there was a program launched, Global Alliance for Improved Nutrition, GAIN, and large-scale functional programs were initiated at that time. A range of staple foods in 30 countries was started. UNICEF started salt iodization program, which resulted in 466 million people in 14 countries against the debilitating effects of iodine deficiency, which results in goiter issues, which results in impairment, and leading ultimately to mental impairment. But again, the problem is that the very poor people do not get that benefit of fortification because fortified foods are very expensive. So herein comes the new development. Now the scientists have started not fortification but biofortification. And biofortification is a very innovative strategy. It was developed in 1909, pioneered by an organization called Harvard Plus. It's common. And Harvard Plus initially made its efforts on zinc, iron, and vitamin A. These are the three ones which are prevalent globally, their deficiency, I mean. So fortification, biofortification, essentially uses plant breeding techniques which are conventional, but they are adapted to add micronutrients during the process of cultivation, and this is achieved by cross-breeding varieties with their wild relatives over several generations. Now, GMO and everything has practically drained most of the micronutrients. So one advance of the GMO resulted in lack of the micronutrients, but the wild varieties of all crops have those micronutrients. So they are cross-breeding the new variety with the old wild varieties. And the result is a reliable, healthy food. Now, fortified crops, I should again say biofortified crops today include vitamin A maize, vitamin A cassava, vitamin A sweet potato, iron beans, iron pearl millet, zinc rice, and zinc wheat. These crops have been introduced in many parts of Africa, Asia, and Latin America. And the aim is to reach 110 million people with the biofortified crops. The point is, why can't it reach more people? We have more than 2 billion people suffering. That's almost a one-third, a bit less than one-third of the world population. And you want to reach only 100 million. That doesn't do. But then they say they are trying to expand. Unfortunately, there is a resistance from certain places. It's a political resistance. Now, there is a definite advantage in biofortification as compared to food fortification that is being done now. After the initial investment to develop biofortified seed, the crop can be used as a seed. It can be replicated and distributed without any reduction in micronutrient concentration. So that's a big benefit. This makes it highly cost effective and sustainable. And not only that, biofortified foods are more resilient to pests, diseases, higher temperatures, and drought. When we are suffering from water scarcity, any crop, especially when it's a much healthier crop and can be resistant to drought, is a boon. And as a matter of fact, nutrition, biofortified food crops can reach the poorest of the poor people and the most vulnerable sections of society. This is to be welcome. However, biofortification needs meticulous development, evaluation to ensure that the micronutrient elements are sufficient to make significant impact on the nutritional value. Otherwise, there is of no use. Now, the center place for this research is University of Central Lancashire. It's an international research being carried on, and they have investigated the impact of biofortified zinc wheat in northwest Pakistan. In northwest Pakistan, 40% of the women are zinc deficient, and now they are using this wheat for making everyday chapatis. The zinc concentration of the soil in this area is very low, and it's an excellent place for experimentation, and the results have been good. So biofortification, the new development, is a partial solution. It cannot be a permanent full solution. It cannot be, but it's a major breakthrough. And the real result would be when you can reduce poverty, you can reduce food insecurity, disease, poor sanitation, gender inequality. However, the university people and the head of the research, and he's an institute person from Indian origin, Dr. Lamba, he was telling that by 2030, they shall be able to feed the whole world, but not by 2020, which is the end game for the Sustainable Development Goals. Now, this breakthrough in food industry is a definite bulwark against hunger, and zero hunger, if not possible by 2020, may actually be a dream by 2030, until and unless politicians are able to destroy the world before that, when you don't need food at all. So, the food for hunger, to provide food for the hungry people is a dream coming true. And at the same time comes a new, very interesting news. Alzheimer, dementia, Parkinson's, these are the diseases which are troubling people. Most of all is Alzheimer. When you become mentally incapable, you are not a lunatic, but you don't know anything. And that is a sad state of affairs. So what's the solution? They have been giving a drug, and that is MCT oil. This is a prescription drug. It is used by Parkinson's. Some people have used for type 2 disease. It's used for amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, and it's also being used for Alzheimer. And now they have said that this MCT oil is made from coconut oil and palm oil. And they say that it is as healthy as the prescription medications are, without having the side effects. So this is a breakthrough, and imagine that most people cannot even afford the prescription drugs. You have to take a lot of precautions while taking the prescription drugs. But this solution, the coconut palm oil solution, resulting into MCT, is again a breakthrough. It has been reported that today you can, if you try using coconut oil regularly in its natural form, then there's no guarantee that the disease would not be there, but the offset can be there. The disease can be delayed. Sad fact is that the prescription drugs have failed. They have not been able to treat fully. What has happened is people recovered up to 30% and then went back. It was a remission for a very short period. It was not a permanent cure. It was not even a palliative. So FDA is now conducting a trial on coconut and MCT oil, but they say that the coconut and the palm oil, if used either in a combination or separately, can actually be used as a substitute for the most expensive drug. And the drug for Alzheimer costs about $1,000 a month. So compared to the cost and the benefit analysis, This new development of using coconut oil versus prescription drugs is a definite achievement for the science. Now, one thing one should think that using coconut oil, the effect of the ketone is likely to be for 8 hours in a body. And the synthetic version, which is used the MCT oil, is there only for 3 hours. So success of the idea is that some or the other, either the ketone should last for 24 hours, or you spread the use of coconut every 6 to 8 hours. That means if all your 3 meals have a coconut oil, then the Alzheimer can be delayed. There's no guarantee that it will not be there, but the delay can be there. However, we have also got to consider the negative effect of too much oil, because too much oil can also be bad. So it's up to the scientists to come up with a precise prescription and what should be the dose of the oil to be used. However, there's no denying the fact that coconut oil is definitely a healthier choice as far as Alzheimer is concerned. So these are the 2 new breakthroughs in the frontiers of knowledge for your consumption and use. Thank you.